What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of That MOE Show, music over everything. I am Hitch Montana with.
Cadmean.
Hey, appreciate y'all tuning in with us for another podcast edition of the show. Cat, how you been this week?
Hey man, we out here making the best of every day, baby. What about you?
I told you before we started, man. I'm a madman in the jungle. I can't. I'm hot I'm hot on the block, man. So you know what's happened this week? We got some new music that came out this week. Jack Harlow released Harlow Man. I mean, no, Jack Man.
Jack man, yeah,
Jack
Jack man.
Harlow Man. Jack Man, he released. Did you finally hear the whole thing?
Yeah. I listened to the whole thing. I don't know who Marcus and Kevin are, but y'all probably shouldn't want to listen to that album.
Yeah, they don't want to get into that.
Yeah, I don't know what Marcus or Kevin did. They must have talked bad about the last album, and he just had to. Hey, I gotta start selling out.
Yeah, this was a very personal album.
He talked about his brother too. I don't know what his brother did to him, but that song was more like I was a bad brother to my older and younger brother. But
You talking
Marcus
about
and Kevin skipped
blame
this
on
one.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Marcus and Kevin. Oh, and he's talking about his dad. So his dad, Marcus and Kevin, y'all might want to skip the album. Skip this one.
I don't know what it is about this album, but I think he was just in his feelings. Like, you know how Drake used to be back in the day. I think this is Jack Man's moment of pain, I guess, where he gets into his feelings and he has to dive deep into what's been going on in his life. But
Well, his last album he was in his feelings too, because every song was about like critics and people back home. On the second one, where it's like "Come home, the kids miss you" or something.
is this a light skin thing?
A light skin thing. It's a white dude.
I mean, but so is it a white thing? Because Eminem, Drake, they all be on this. I gotta get into my
Bro,
feelings.
Wale be in his feelings too, but he ain't light
Oh,
skinned.
that's true. That's true. Wale do be in his feelings. Wale does, yeah. And we really go in on Wale about it too. We really go in on Wale about how he's always whining. But the thing about Wale is Wale whines off the audios. When he's not doing the tracks is when he goes on Twitter and everywhere else and rants about how nobody likes him, nobody respects him, nobody takes his craft serious. They don't understand what he's going through as what is he, a Gemini? I
I don't
think.
know, man.
Or one of them crazy zodiac signs. I mean, there's
I'm
a
a
lot.
street sign, bro. Stop.
But I don't know, man. It seems like this. If he was in his feelings on the first one, I don't think he was in his feelings as much as he was on this one.
Yeah, I like this one's good though. I think this one, I don't think it's better than the first one, but it's definitely better than the second one. Like the production is good, it all flows well. He's rapping. There's no like
Yeah,
commercial stuff on there. It's
yeah.
just all like rapping.
I think I like the fact that he's storytelling in this one.
Yeah.
This one we actually get like a feel of his talent. I think the other cases where like he was good, but at times he seemed mediocre. But this album, I think I could see him being a guy who genuinely enjoys rapping. Like this is his craft. Because from start to finish, even though this album is like less than 30 minutes long, the fact that from beginning to end, there's a story behind it. Again, he's talking about something going on in his life. He's talking about someone in his life. He's talking about real, actual experiences in his life. Wanting to get courtside tickets to the Knicks game. And then what was that? I think it was just a couple of days ago he was actually at the Knicks game, or yesterday he was at the Knicks game. So for whoever's watching this, yesterday was Saturday. I don't know what day by the time they watch this now.
Yeah. I don't and the Knicks played today, which is Sunday, but I think you're talking about the Cleveland game.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
the Cleveland game,
Yeah.
but I think this time we get to hear like sentimental bars. But
Yeah.
can we still can I still go ahead and say how disappointed I am that albums have to be this short now? Like I don't know. I listened to a whole weekend's worth of albums. I don't know. I think I listened to a total of like 4 or 5 albums so far. in the span of one day, and I got through all of them in maybe 4 hours tops.
Yeah.
When one album back in the day, man, used to be an hour and a half almost.
Yeah, like, at least an hour.
Yeah,
You were
yeah.
getting good quality songs, and now it's like if an album is an hour, it's like it's probably not very good. But who started that? Like X kind of started that because wasn't his album like 17 minutes?
I don't remember his first album.
Yeah, 17 was like 17 minutes or like 20 minutes or something.
That's true, man. I'm disappointed.
Because I remember that was like the first exposure to me for a short album. And I was like, man, if I went to the store and paid $10 for this, and I only got however long it was, I think it's like 17. Are you looking or you want me to
Yeah,
look?
I'm looking
Okay.
for his
Yeah, but
first album,
yeah,
Revenge.
17.
15 minutes. Wow. Yeah, 16 minutes to be exact.
Yeah. I got 22, but it don't
17 was
matter.
22.
Yeah, 17 was the first one.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Nah,
so
Revenge is the first one.
how long was that one you said? 15?
16 minutes.
Yeah, look at that.
That's crazy.
And then the next one's 22. Look at that. And that was 11 songs.
Yeah, the next one was 22. And then his longest one is question mark deluxe though, and that's an hour, almost 2 hours. But
That's
it's a
what the
deluxe though.
that's what the unfinished songs though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's with the instrumentals, that's with the demos. Uh yeah. But I don't like the trend. I'm telling you, it's not one that's gonna go away. I don't know why I call it a trend is if it's gonna die off. This just gonna be it's
This
gonna be
just
what
is
it
what it's
is.
gonna be moving
Yeah,
forward.
as long as it doesn't go into TikTok mode where it's just like we're getting 15 seconds of a song and
But you
that's
get
in the
one verse.
song.
You get one verse and then it's done. But you know who did that? And we didn't really stress it was Jay Electronica. His mixtapes would be like one verse on the Dilla beat and then he'd be done. But that wasn't the norm.
That's different when it's a mixtape, you know. When it's a
Oh,
mixtape,
that's true.
nobody really cares anyways, because the mixtape, the only people who are listening to it back then are the fans. The fans are going to go find the mixtape. If you're not a fan, you don't care about the mixtape. Give me the album.
Right.
That's why with Wayne fans, you could tell the difference between a fan and just somebody who liked Lil Wayne by what they were listening to. Oh, I like the Carter 2, I like the Carter 3, I like the Block is Hot, I like 500 Degrees. But if you didn't hear any of the droughts, if you didn't hear No Ceilings, if you didn't hear none of the dedications, you weren't really a fan.
Yeah, I don't know any true Lil Wayne fan that will say, "Hey, what's your favorite Lil Wayne project?" and they say an album.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I don't like, and I'm not even like the biggest. I'm a big Lil Wayne fan, but there's people way bigger than Lil Wayne fans to me. I don't like any of the albums except for Carter 3,
yeah.
and I like kind of like that one, but I like the droughts are over. I think this the drought is over too. That's one with the Kanye instrumentals on it, like, and then all the LimeWire stuff where I don't even know what project it was on.
That's the
I
good
just
old
know it's the
days.
song.
That's the good old days where you didn't even know if it was a real song. Like we talked about AIs last week, but imagine back in LimeWire days where Wayne was making so much music that we didn't even know whether it was real or not. Like just we were just music was just coming out.
Yeah,
And
there was a Lil Wayne on I think it's All the Lights remix that I thought was a real remix, but it was just a DJ took Lil Wayne's verse from his Dead Presidents freestyle and put it on. No, it was Flashing Lights, not All the Lights. My bad, Flashing Lights.
yeah, because All the Lights is a real remix with Drake.
Yeah, with Drake and Big Sean, which is one of Big Sean's best verses. But on the Flashing Lights, they just took Lil Wayne's verse from his Dead Presidents freestyle and just put it on the beat. The DJ did, like DJ Mello, I think, did it. But I thought that was a real song because I never heard that Lil Wayne song.
Hmm.
I never heard that freestyle. It's him and Currency. I never heard it.
What do you think Wayne would be like in today's generation if that Wayne still existed?
He won't work.
It wouldn't work.
No, but that's because this generation, nobody raps on each other's beats, and his
Mm.
songs would be too long. And honestly, like Wayne's like regular songs, they're not like they're not bad, but they're not great. Like I think Go DJ would do well. Like if the song has to do well on TikTok for it to like work. I think Go DJ would work. Fireman would probably work. Lollipop definitely would work. But like I don't even know any other like commercial Lil Wayne songs off
But
top of my head.
there's a Millie.
Yeah, okay, Melly would probably work. All right, let me rephrase that then. Because I think all of those songs would probably work. But I think where Wayne like took off was because he was rapping on other people's beats. I just saw a meme today where it was like when an artist hears somebody else rap on his beat, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, someone's rapping on this, but I don't know who it is." And then it does the light switch or the light
The
flicker.
light flick.
Yeah, and then the lighter flicker, and then they were like, and then just like, and it stopped. I'm like, man. And then RDC World, remember they did a whole sketch about it.
Yeah.
Whenever they like went platinum or whatever, and then like Lil Wayne rapped on and like took the award, and like, oh no, this is going to Wayne and stuff like that. Like, how many people back in the day knew Ice Cream Paint Job versus knew the Lil Wayne version of Ice Cream Paint Job?
Right. Like the only thing I know out of the ice cream paint job is the hook compared to Wayne's verse. I know the whole song.
Yeah, like and like Mr. Jones, the
uh
Mike Jones song where
Mike
Lil Wayne's
Jones,
"The
yeah.
Sky's the Limit." Like, how many people know the Mike Jones song?
Yeah.
I don't even know the Mike Jones
I
song. But I
actually,
know I'm a
until you
ride for
mentioned
my.
it, I actually forgot. I actually forgot that it was a Mike Jones song until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, I
I
don't know the Mike Jones song.
I know it because I used to like Mike Jones, but I don't even recall it really being a Mike Jones song. I just recall it being a Wayne song. And I would almost go as far as to say that if I had heard it, but if I had heard them both at the same time, I'd probably think that this was a Wayne song before I thought it was a Mike Jones song.
Yeah, I think Mike Jones had a hook, but I don't know none. I don't even know the hook. I just know Wayne goes, "I'm a ride for mama, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
die with my finger on the trigger." Yeah, I know that, but I don't know none of the Mike Jones stuff.
That's tough. That's tough to be like a decade's worth of an artist. Not and what I mean by that is Wayne single-handedly just made himself the most relevant rapper for an entire decade. Just by number one, appearing on everybody's music, number two, getting featured on everybody's music, and then number three, just making nonstop music. The entire decade was just all Lil Wayne. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think it's wild how I guess music fans now do not know Wayne like we know Wayne. And and we're never gonna get another one. Like the problem is the sad thing is we're never gonna get another one. No one's gonna be like even remotely close to Lil Wayne. Just
Yeah,
like just like no one's gonna be remotely close to Kobe. Like everybody who wants to do the Mamba mentality. It's funny how they try to replicate it, and they don't even touch the surface of how Kobe was. The
no, none of the Mamba
savageness.
mentality guys are close to Kobe.
Yeah, I wish they would actually like leave that alone. Like, just stop saying Mamba mentality, because I you don't even touch it. You don't even
Right,
touch it
not close.
compared to him. Just like for people who say that Wayne is a favorite rapper. I do everything based off of Wayne. I emulate Wayne's entire career. Not even close. Like, not even close. The amount of music that that man came out with and dropped, the amount of music that we didn't even know of that dropped, the amount of music that we thought dropped that really didn't drop.
I mean, Lil Wayne like made those mixtape DJs like relevant,
Oh yeah.
like Evil Empire,
Evil Empire,
uh,
DJ Holiday, Gangsta Grills, yeah,
Trapaholics.
Trapaholics. Well, who was it? Who was it? Well, was it Rockstar or was it, you say Evil Empire? But all
And
of
then
them
whoever
DJs,
was before Evil Empire, because I feel like they were something else before.
I think so.
Like,
Evil Empire probably was Trapaholics. and then
Something.
branched
Well,
off.
they both had different tags, and they made the tags cool because everybody would say, "Hold up, where'd you find this?"
No, damn son.
Yeah, and he's like, "Police, where'd you find this?" Dropaholics mixtape, but that's all from Lil Wayne.
Dropaholics.
That's
Yeah,
all from Lil Wayne.
that's good stuff, man. I really wish we could like relive that little era of time in like real form, not in like real time, not like listen to it on the radio because the radio is not gonna give us the mixtapes. I mean, like actually be a part of that time period and just hear all the music that he did. I don't know how we ended up getting on to Lil Wayne, but back to Harlow, back to Mr. Jack Harlow. I like this album. I think this is probably the better of the three.
Oh yeah, I think it's either that or the first one. It's definitely better than the second one.
I
Like,
mean,
I think the first one he had like when I think of Jack Harlow, I think of like swagger, and the
yeah,
swagger was real heavy in the first one, and then this one it's not really there. He's just rapping. Like I think the swagger is him, and the first one it's all over there. Like it's all over the place.
did we know this was coming though?
I think it just got announced this week or last week. They said, "Oh,
Oh,
by the way, he's dropping an album."
huh. Because this was to me, this was like out of the blue.
Yeah, they said like 2 days before it dropped. I think.
It's good for 2 days for a 2 day announcement.
I mean, honestly, I was thinking maybe he should drop it more towards when White Men Can't Jump comes up.
Oh, that would have been good. Yeah, to release
But
it when the movie came out.
but I think does that come out next week? Maybe
I don't know.
I don't remember. It's either next week or the week after.
I don't even be keeping up with that. Who plays the black guy in White Man Can Jump?
I don't know, but shout outs to Duke. He's in there.
Who is Duke?
Duke Skywalker.
Duke Scott. Oh, okay.
Yeah, shout outs to Duke. He's in there.
Ah. So is Drake is with Jack Harlow right now? Do you think he's going to be any bigger than what he is now?
I don't think musically, but I think he'll be big because he's gonna do other things like
Hmm.
acting. Like if he's a good actor in this movie, then he's gonna be in other movie roles. And I think this is a LeBron movie.
Yeah, it's a LeBron remake.
Yeah. So that could open him up to be in other LeBron remakes if he does good.
I don't know about I don't know how to feel about LeBron remakes because he already did the house party, which I heard was really good. I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah, I
but I
haven't
heard
seen House Party.
that house party was really good, and apparently this is supposed to be really good too. But the fact that he's bringing back these his childhood movies, it's almost like to say, now that I'm older, I want my kids to watch these movies.
Well, they're like cult classic movies.
Are they really though?
Yeah. They're
So
black
White
kids
Man Jumps needs to go in the collection.
of cult classics. Yeah, it's a cult classic black movie. House Party, White Men Can't Jump,
Well, house party, yeah.
Don't Be a Menace,
All right, just don't touch Friday. How about that?
Belly, Juice, Friday, all of them.
You can't touch Friday, and you can't touch Belly. Because who
Well,
you gonna
I
have
don't
play
think LeBron's
DMX's
going that
role?
route anyways.
Huh?
I don't think LeBron's going that route anyways.
But
Oh,
who
and
you?
Space Jam. You can almost say Space Jam was in that little group.
Oh, that's true. A LeBron remake.
Oh, hey, well, there's a LeBron remake Belly coming soon then, I guess. Or Juice.
Who you gonna have play DMX's role?
I don't know.
Ain't
That
nobody
ain't for me to
good.
find out.
Maybe Little Baby,
A little bit.
maybe Little Baby.
Just
But
have
you
Jack
got
Harlow play.
he's gotta take speech classes first. He's gotta be able to be understood, and that's the hard part with Little Baby right now. You can't really understand him.
He doesn't open his mouth when he talks.
So, but let's take the movies out of this. Do you think he can be as big as he should be with his music career?
No, because I don't think with music the way it is now that you're gonna be a superstar off of music in the rap space.
So you don't think that's a thing anymore?
Not in rap, no. Because in the rap space, I guess rap, because of the mumble stuff, is the easiest to make. Because you can just put a beat on, you don't even have to rhyme and just say nothing really. And you can release it, get some clicks, you'll get 1 million streams on Spotify, and then you're popular for a week or two, and then somebody else will do the same formula and come in. So it's not like we're not gonna get like a Drake. or we're not gonna get a Kendrick, we're not gonna get a J. Cole. Like, we're not gonna get somebody that's gonna like transcend radio, because I think radio is just out at this point. It's getting there. Now, if he was like a pop artist, it's different because I feel like that music's harder to create. So it's a smaller competition, I would say. They have bigger artists there. So like Taylor Swift, still going crazy.
Yeah.
Like Olivia Rodrigo, right? Where she was like a newer pop artist in this TikTok time. Went crazy.
I need another Olivia Rodrigo album to come out, by the way.
Yes, but she went crazy when she came out. I mean, we look at Machine Gun Kelly, who we'll talk about a little later. Machine Gun Kelly went over to that space and took off. He was way bigger over there than he'd ever would have been in rap.
Yeah, but his punk rock stuff is going crazy too.
It's good.
Yeah, which is a space he probably should have joined from the very beginning.
Yeah, but he can rap. But like I said, we'll talk about him later.
I mean, but speaking of a dope album that I probably say people need to listen to is by what's his name? By Labyrinth. Ends and Beginnings. Definitely an album that I think people should check out. It's a pop album since we're on the topic of pop albums. That was one that I listened to. It's pretty quick, maybe about like 30 minutes or so. But I don't know. This is my first time listening to him, and as far as pop goes, it's not popish in the sense of what we hear on the radio, but it's popish in the sense of like just a mix of all the sounds, which is what really pop is. Take your blends of your country, your blends of your R&B, hip hops, whatever's cool right now, and then mix it together. So for what it's worth, I tell everybody to go listen to it. It's a pretty quick song, pretty quick album, 30 minutes long, but I vibe to it. Another one, our guy Mike Dean. This is a weird album.
It's electronic music.
Oh yeah, but what is it? 436 is what I think the title of the album is called. 422?
3.
Oh, 423. I wonder if that's like a play on Drake's. Right. But he didn't give a city. He didn't give a city though.
It might mean something. I don't know.
It might. Like maybe he made this album at 420, 432 in the morning. It could have been. But it's a synth album. All it is synths from start to beginning. So take it with a grain of salt for people who don't like synth sounds. It can be very annoying. It can be very draining. But think of like, for anybody who's seen Tron, think of this being like the soundtrack to Tron.
Tron?
Yeah.
Hey, well, we just talked about TikTok. Yo, I didn't find him, but he came up on my For You or whatever. His name is Squid the Kid. Bro.
I like that name.
This dude is dope. He's so dope. I would say if you like, because I saw they're like, oh, if you like Mac Miller music, he's not a Mac Miller sound, but if you like Anderson .Paak, but he's a rapper. So if you like Anderson .Paak vibes, like he's it. And I don't even think he's that big. I just seen somebody was like, oh, if you listen to this artist, you'll like this artist. And then he like made a video on it. And that's how I saw it. And I was like, oh, I'll check him out. He's pretty good.
Pretty dope.
Yeah, I'll send him to you when the show's over. He's pretty good. I've been listening to him like all weekend.
So let's get into this white rapper category.
Oh yeah, so Jack Harlow said he was the second best white rapper.
Compared to who?
Behind Eminem.
Not Drake?
Drake is not white.
Technically.
No, he's mixed. Biracial. Logic's more white than Drake.
Is he more number one? Is he number 2 behind Eminem? I mean, behind Logic?
Logic's not number 1. You know what? I'm starting to like Logic, but this isn't a Logic conversation.
I like Logic as it relates to Logic no longer crying.
I like Logic when I listen to his music.
Yeah, because he's not crying no more. You notice he's given up on tears of no one listening to him.
Yeah, it makes the music he wants to make, and it's all smooth. It's really good. His last project was good. We weren't on season 2 of the show, so we didn't get to talk about it, but it's pretty good.
And I like the fact that he's just like randomly dropping music right now and doesn't care, because for the longest period of time, the problem with him was that he was good and he cared too much. Kind of like Wale, always crying about the fact that nobody wants to listen to his music. Everybody slights him. Nobody really turns him on and says, you should listen to this new Logic. except for when he first came out and he started rapping fast, but that was about it. So he's number 2 behind Machine Gun Kelly, is what you're saying.
Behind Eminem.
Vanilla Ice.
Oh, he's better than Vanilla Ice.
Oh, okay. Mac Miller.
All right. So this is how we're going to do this. I'll give you white rappers he's not better than. At least not yet. Eminem.
Yeah.
Because he only has 3 projects. He has to have a body of work. So Eminem. Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Paul Wall.
Oof.
Even though I think Paul Wall transcends race. I think Paul Wall is just Paul Wall. But for the sake of the argument, he is technically white, even though I think Paul Wall is just Paul Wall. He's his own race. I don't think he's better than Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky's hard to say that he's better than anybody because of the fact that it's like satire rap. He's so
Dicky,
good though. He's
he
so
can rap.
good.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
going off talent. Yeah, I'm going off talent. He's a better rapper than Jack Harlow.
He might be a better rapper than Eminem. Like, if you listen to bars, because here's the thing about Eminem. Everybody's gonna go crazy about this at some point in time. Here's the thing about Eminem. At the end of the day, Eminem is witty, but he doesn't have bars. We've never heard that was a bar from Eminem.
Eminem has bars. He just doesn't have similes and metaphors.
He don't have bars.
He's like Kendrick. Kendrick has bars, but he doesn't have similes and metaphors. The first 3 Eminem albums are 3 of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. Marshall Mathers LP, Slim Shady LP, and the Eminem Show. Take those 3 albums, and you can almost put them up against anybody's 3 album run on those 3 albums.
But you know what they all have? They just have a lot of raw emotion, wittiness. They have speed because obviously he's rapping fast, so a good flow and good story behind them because you can follow along with it. It's not like he raps one verse and then another verse turns into a different story. Like Stan, for example. Stan's a great song for the simple fact that it just flows really well. And it's a good story with a plot twist at the end. And they do this as a song. But there's no bars in Stan, just like there's no bars in Slim Shady or...
Oh, you're tripping. There are bars in Slim Shady.
There's no bars.
Shady,
there's no bars in Toy Soldier. There's no bars in Superman. There's no bars.
Superman. You're tripping now. Now you're just being disrespectful. Now you're being disrespectful.
There's no bars in Lose Yourself.
Bro,
you know what there is bars is?
Lose Yourself is like an anthem.
Yes, it is. It is an anthem. You know where there is bars though? That LeBron James song.
We're not even talking about Forever. I don't even think Eminem was good at that point.
But there was bars in there.
Yo, there's bars in The Real Slim Shady. There's bars in My Name Is.
There's no bars in My Name Is.
Bro,
I'll go back and I'll look it up.
My English teacher, this is the unedited version. My English teacher wanted to have sex in junior high. The only problem was my English teacher was a guy.
It's not a bar.
That is a bar, bro.
That's not a bar.
I chased him around the room with an eraser, or something, and stapled his nuts to a stack of papers. Walked in the strip club, had my jacket zipped up, flashed the bartender.
It's not a bar.
And stuck my...
They're just very witty. They're just witty. Like, no one would think of that, but it's not a bar.
All right, but we agree he's number 1 then. We don't need to argue semantics. We agree that he's better than Jack Harlow.
Absolutely.
All right, he's better than Jack Harlow. All right.
But my argument is Dickie is probably better than Eminem.
Oh, well, that's a different conversation. Yeah. Because you also got to go off, Eminem was in the 90s, where the lyricists that we think are good in the 90s don't compare to the lyricists that are good in the 2000s because it evolved. So we'll hold off on that one. Lil Dicky, Eminem, that's a different conversation on a different day.
All right.
But I think Machine Gun Kelly rapping wise is better than Jack Harlow.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what we get out of Machine Gun Kelly back then is an actual rapper. I think the
I just
problem
heard
was
him and Corday rapped on that one song where it's like, how can I be homophobic? My chick is gay. That song. The little British rapper. I don't know what that song's called. But I heard MGK and Corday rapped on that. And if MGK, the way he was rapping on that, would have had that same kind of rapping on his disses to Eminem, we would have said he would have beat Eminem. Like that's how hard he was rapping. That's how good it was. That we could have argued if he came like that against Eminem that he was a better rapper than Eminem.
I think he just waited too long. Like you don't come against Eminem like this late in his career. Like nobody really cares at this point.
Yeah, I think it's and I think he might be like Wayne where his talent kind of shows and just like mixtape stuff versus commercial stuff.
Yeah, and that's the problem with a lot of rappers. Well, I don't know about these days because rappers get a lot of freedom these days compared to back then. But
Rappers aren't that good these days.
no, they're not. But I think back then the problem was that as a commercial rapper, you have a list of songwriters that are writing songs for you day in and day out and saying this is the one, the label saying this is the one you need to push, this is the one you need to do because politics, semantics, whatever you want to call them, this artist, this songwriter is coming up, and so we need to push his song because he's the next big thing, and so you need to do his track, or we need an anthem for this type of style, or whatever the case may be. So I think that hurt him as well because he tried to be everybody's favorite white rapper. You know, he tried to be the guy from Cleveland at the same time who had the punk rock style. So, and then on top of that, just happened to be this one that was cool with all the black guys and could rap. But when you got to deal with all the commercials, all the commercial types and all the labels, kind of messes things up for you. I think I think that's the only edge that Eminem has as a white rapper for most other white rappers is the fact that commercial labels or commercial style of music didn't even phase him. He's gonna come out
He
with
was
whatever he wanted to.
he was extremely commercially successful
Yeah,
and he was rapping about things that were not commercial.
right,
Like if you really think about it, doesn't really make sense how successful he is when he's talking about killing people and raping people and doing
right.
drugs.
Cleaning out my closet,
Like, whoa. Think about what I just said. My name is. We talked about his English teacher wanted to have sex in junior high. The only problem was the English teacher was a guy.
and
And then
then
he had to
all,
constantly edit his albums, had to get edited to take stuff like that out
and then
and
all the diss
say,
tracks that he wrote that he had about so many regular artists: Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Joey
when
Fatone.
he talked about killing Kim in like 3 commercial songs in a row.
Oh yeah, he always wanted to kill Kim.
Yeah, he talked about killing Kim, like 3 commercial songs in a row.
And we're not talking about Kim Kardashian. We're talking about Kim, his ex-wife.
His baby mama. That's what
Right.
we're talking about. Like Stan is I think Stan though was like, all right. I don't really want to kill Kim. But here's a story of a dude that thought I really did, and he killed his baby mama.
And that was a really great song.
Yeah, that was one of that and cleaning out my closet where he was like, all right, guys, relax. These are like the consequences of saying stuff like this.
Yeah. Or I Am is another one, is another good one. Is it called
Yep.
I Am?
I am everything you said I am. If I
Yeah, but is
wasn't,
it
if
called
I
I
was,
Am?
I am. I think it's called I am.
All right. That's another good one as well, another controversial one. But I think every artist has a controversial song. Every artist from back then, from the 90s, all has a controversial song that came out that is about what tabloids and everyone else thinks they are. Michael Jackson had one. I think Wayne has one. I think Jay-Z. I know Jay-Z had one. Jay-Z has, well, I think Girls is an anthem again, is a one that goes against everything that he said because all the girls always think that he don't like them. He one nights them.
Bro.
So
But I think it's safe to say back on Jack Harlow that He's not top 5 white rappers yet. He has time.
He does have time.
He only has 3 projects.
Can he? Do you think he has enough for 5? Like he can go for 5 albums? Like I know in this day and age, saying 5 is like saying 2. You could just crank out an album whenever you wanted to, but 5 good albums.
Yeah, I think he could probably get top 5 now. I mean, there's probably gonna be OGs listening that are like, "Oh, this white rapper from the '80s is better," and it's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Artists in the '80s aren't better than artists now.
No,
Not in rap.
no. Artists in the 80s are not better than any artist from any decade.
I would argue. I would only argue on rap because I don't know on rock if there's different techniques for playing an actual guitar because you don't need to know how to play a guitar nowadays. You don't even need to play an instrument nowadays.
I mean,
So,
80s, 90s, like maybe early 2000s R&B is better than like now's R&B because at least they talked about romance and stuff like that. I think 90s pop, 80s pop for sure is better than today's pop because 80s pop is like soundtrack worthy. 80s pop is nuts compared to today's pop. But rap wise, there's no 80s artist that is better than today's, with the exception of Rakim.
and I say that's a maybe if we're gonna talk. If you want to take like the best lyricists in the '80s and put them against the best lyricists in the 2000s, it's not even close.
Yeah, no.
You could pick 10. Like we could just do a top 10, and 2000s probably has 7.
Yeah,
of the top 10. Like we don't got to go through it number wise. We don't have the time, but they probably got like at least 7. But Jack Harlow, I think, could crack a top 5 white rapper when it's all said and done. I think he could pass MGK.
I think today's rappers probably are on par with 80s rappers. As far as like skill wise, as far as skill wise, I think they're on par because it doesn't 80s rap, remember 80s rap wasn't much of anything. Like you could just put words together as long as it rhymed, that's what happened. Some of them like Slick Rick, some of them like are like Run DMC, again, like Rakim, and I guess you can go throw in Big Daddy Kane, had perfected their craft, but other rappers, Vanilla Ice, and some of these other, Insane Posse Crew, I think came out in the 90s. But some of them other rappers, they're nothing. Sugar Hill Gang, you definitely. What are they?
Well, they're white though, so that might be
Sugar Hill Gang's not white.
Wrong one. House of Pain. I meant
yeah. Okay.
My bad. Sugar Hill Gang is not white. House of Pain is what I was thinking.
Okay. But it is what it is. We'll get back into this white topic another time because I do want to know what other white rappers you think are better than Jack Harlow.
Look, man, it only took us 2 episodes of new season to have the white rapper debate.
It happens every so often.
Yeah, but no, I just said the people I think are better. That's just off the top of my head though. So I mean, I'd have to really go down and look for any other white rappers.
Oh, what's the name? White Jesus, Lil Jesus,
Slim Jesus,
Slim Jesus.
Get that out of here. And so the other dude, Baby Tron or whatever, get that out of here.
Oh, Baby Tron is white. That's right.
Yeah, bro, and he is not better
than
Jack.
You know what white rapper he's definitely not better than? Gemini. From First and 15.
From First and 15.
Yeah.
You mean Gemstones?
Gemstones
isn't white.
He is white.
No, he's not. Bro, I'm gonna have to send you the He Said She Said video where he's in it.
All right.
He's a black dude. He's a big black dude. He's not even remotely white.
Oh well. Well, look, world, that's our time. We gotta come back next episode and get this underway and find out if Gemini or Gemstone is really a white rapper or not. Maybe I just haven't seen him enough. But with that being said, once again, you know why we do this. We do this only for one reason, and that's because we love you. And with that being said, I am Hitch Montana as always with
Cadmean. Thanks for everybody that listened to the audio. We had the most plays last week in a week than we've had the whole time.
Hey.